Hello everyone and welcome back to part 19. Today I wanted to talk about animation, and when we saw that in the earlier lessons, it was about modifying a value throughout time that will lead us to Blender interpolating this value between two keyframes, and then we would have a movement. But today I wanted to start with something else, which is armature animation, and of course with that we need to know what an armature is. So I'm gonna create one of them. Okay, it's an object like any other object. You will have to go in the add menu and choose here armature, and then it presents itself just like that. Looks like in fact a bone. Okay, you usually use that for bone-like structures. Not all the time, but sometimes, and you can see here in the outliner, it's called a bone. So, an armature has three types of modes. An object mode, like any other object, where you can move, rotate, or scale it. There's also an edit mode, okay, like any other object, again, where you can just modify the aspect of one bone, extrude another one, even duplicate it, okay. Just like that, as you can see, to create the structure of it. And then the last one, which is just for bones, it's the pose mode, where you would actually animate it. Okay? You can see, if I add keyframes, like for an object animation, I will have it animated. But then the structure follows a parenting system, like that. Okay? Where you have the parents driving its children's motion. Okay, so now I've imported our character, the one we used since the beginning of this project, and I'm gonna do an armature like a skeleton for it. Okay, so I've created an armature. I'm going into edit mode, okay, for this armature, and then I'm just gonna have this bone, which is gonna be our main bone. It's gonna be the parent of every other bones, okay, and I'm doing the legs, okay. Sometimes you could just have the legs like that, or you could add another bone, okay, that would act as the hip bone, okay, just like that. And then I'm just gonna do, there is a bone in our thigh and a bone for the lower leg. I'm just gonna move the mesh in the center of the scene so that it's easier later on to have them match, okay. And now the bone from the profile, remember I use a kind of curved shape for my limbs, and they are also following the same kind of things. Don't create them straight on, try to have them follow a kind of curves as well. And it's curving in the way your legs will be bending. Okay, and then we are gonna rename all of these bones, and this bone we will call root, okay, because it's the root of everything. And then the other bones, at the end, I will add .L to tell Blender this is the left part of my skeleton. Okay, so I'm gonna do that for all of these bones, finishing their names by .L. Okay, and then what I can actually do is select them all. Okay, and then go into the armature menu and select symmetrize. You can see that Blender, following the fact that I had bones with the .L at the end, it created the right part with the .R at the end, automatically. That's why it's important to really name correctly your bones. And from this, now, what I can do is select my mesh, and then the armature, and you can go into the menu here, Objects, Parent, and select with automatic weight, okay. And this, careful, because our mesh is very heavy, this is gonna take a long time or even crash Blender. This hasn't crashed my computer. And then what you will see is that if I select my armature and then go into the pose mode, where I could actually move it and animate it, now my mesh is moving with it. Okay? So when we built the armature, it is called the rigging process, and when we actually match a mesh to it, it's called the skinning process. Okay, and it's much more complicated than what I'm showing you right now. For the skinning part, I'm gonna show you an example here with just two simple bones like that and just a very low poly cylinder. Okay, I'm just gonna subdivide it just a bit because like for everything, if you want to bend it, you need subdivision and you need some mesh details. Okay, now I'm just gonna skin it just like that. And if I bend my bone, you can see that the mesh is folding into itself. Okay, I'm just gonna show here the wireframes, and you can see in this area that the mesh is going into itself, which is not what we want usually, because if you want to simulate human skin or even cloth, they can't go into itself. Okay, so now I'm just gonna copy it and show you another example. I'm gonna modify the topology of my cylinder. Okay, first I think I'm just gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, like that. And then I'm just gonna modify just slightly the topology so that it will take a bit better into account the bending of the bone. You can see now it's not folding into itself, it's just going still again a bit in the inside, and this is where we are gonna do what I will show in this third example, which is called weight painting. And this process is about saying which vertex is affected by which bone and how much the bone is affecting it really. Okay, so if you select your armature first and then your mesh and go into weight paint, what you can see first is in blue here, one of the bone will be selected, and you can switch from one bone to another holding the shift key on your keyboard and then left clicking on one bone. And then the color is how much influence bone has on the vertex. So if I switch to mix mode here and adjust the weight value here, you can see I can paint. So blue is 0, red is 1, and the idea here is of course to assign a weight value depending on the bones to a vertex so that it is bending correctly. So this mesh is very simple, so it's not that hard. You can see if you paint one way or another how the vertices moves, and then you can decide, okay, I want it to move not that much, so paint it maybe the other way. Okay, and now that it's painted, okay, like that, you can see that whenever I move my bone, it's bending correctly, it's not going through itself, and that is the very hard part of weight painting. Okay, we use automatic weight. It usually does a pretty good job, but of course if you want to fine-tune the thing, we would have to go through weight painting. That is part of the skinning process. So here you can see the leg is bending, the automatic weight has worked well enough, and it's not too bad, but of course it's not perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is show you an example with the pants now to see how it goes. And you can see there is something really wrong with the pants. First, I didn't know what it was, but of course you can see easily that in fact it is the inside of the pants that is going outside. The automatic weight painting didn't really work, and these objects are very heavy in terms of vertices. I could do a weight paint, but we would have to paint the weights on all of those vertices, which would be very hard. So just to demonstrate the fact that it was the inside, I'm just gonna remove the inside from the pants. And of course, once it is gonna be done, you're gonna see there is no more error. And we could get away with having the pants and the mesh being skinned like that. Okay, if he's bending only his knees like that. So what I'm gonna do next is create the rest of its armature. Okay, it's kind of following the bones that exist in our body. And what I'm gonna do is add the spine, the neck, and the head. Rename them, of course, and then do one part for the arm, so the shoulders, then the rest of the arm, and not to forget the fingers. Okay, I will need to rename all of them so that they will be mirrored correctly using the symmetrize options that I showed earlier. Okay, and of course, because the shirt is like the pants, might do an error, I'm just removing the interior of the shirt. And now, just as a test, I have animated the bones so that I can see after the skinning if it's working well or not. And you can see already that in the armpit area and above the shoulders, it is not correct. We would have to modify the weight painting. Okay, so I'm just doing it for all the other parts of my character. I had a little problem with the eyes, because when you parent them sometimes with the local and global positioning it doesn't work, so I just had to place them back where they were. And for the head, the weight painting seems like it didn't work, so I had to do it by hand. Okay, just like that. For the neck and the head, it wasn't too complicated. So now you can see it's kinda working. I mean, the character can be animated using this rig. Okay, the armature can be called a rig. It's a simple one, of course, that we did very, very fast, but there are still a bit of errors and you would have to do a lot of tweaking with the weight paint. So you could do that. It's gonna take a long time, or what I would suggest is to create a simplified version of the mesh. Usually this is where the rotopology phase that I talked about would happen. Okay, to have a simplified version or a lighter version of our character, and we could do the skinning with that. We're not gonna do the rotopo as I said, but I'm gonna use a simple mesh to skin it, and this one will then modify our complex body. Okay, that part we will see in the next lesson, and then we will do our first walk cycle, a real animation this time. Okay, that you could also use for any character using this technique with a lighter mesh. Okay, so stay tuned to discover more about that technique. I hope you learn a lot of things. Remember, the process is creating the armature, and we're gonna go through a more complex system next time. And then the skinning, we're gonna use this trick so that if you don't do the rotopology, you will still be able to animate your character. So I'll see you next time. Have a great week everyone. Take care. Bye.